So Shalom, I want to make this very clear regarding this topic. If you are saved, then you are speaking, preaching the truth. And I think a lot of people are going to find out they're a mix of a lot of different nations. So if you are saved, no matter what nation you are, tell the truth and don't hide it. And so this is not a criticism of anybody who is of any of these nations I'm about to discuss and is telling the truth and not trying to hide or deceive. Because the truth of Scripture is that Yah requires that all be saved who accept and receive His Son first, and Him, and then His children. So this is Afua Hirsch. She is in Harry and Meghan. And Hirsch is a British writer and broadcaster. She has worked as a journalist for the Guardian newspaper and was the social affairs education editor for Sky News from 2014 till 2017. She is half Jewish and half Akan. Now, like I say, the Akan, I think, have been half invaded by the Edomites, the Black Edomites. And so she is positioned in Harry and Meghan as a Black intelligentsia commentator on all of the incidents that went down between Harry and Meghan and the royalty, the institution of the royals. I call code red. Afua Hirsch is playing the race card. Now, Afua Hirsch is half Jewish and half Black. Her paternal grandfather and father are Jewish. As I like to say all the time, family, your genetics point to your allegiances. So you always must choose the house of Yah. But your genetics may point to your allegiances in sin. Okay? And so you have to, as I've said many times before, leave your father's house and choose to align yourself with Israel. So this is not a prejudice against a people group. It's a prejudice against their history of persecution against the children of Israel. And so this woman can either choose Israel or she can choose to remain in her father's house. Now, there are many people with the name Hirsch. If we look into the Hirsch, there was a famous Rabbi Samson Raphael Hirsch. Hershey's chocolate is related to the Hirsch family. And when you look at the Herschel or Hirsch coat of arms, the root word being Hirsch, there was a German-born astronomer, and in his line they discovered Uranus, another Hirsch. And then, of course, there was an astronaut who went into space who was a Hirsch and then became a senator. So you see the control of the narrative all the way through. Also, there's a drama on Netflix called Away. So Otto Isado is playing a Jewish astronaut, coincidentally, and his Jewish mother is white and his Jewish African father is Black in the story. So you see the connections being made. And so all you have to do is really whitewash this woman Hirsch, just like you can blackwash Angelina Jolie in these images. Just Photoshop her in your mind, and you can see how the Jews went from Black Edom to white Jews. Now, they use the Akan tribe in her example, but the Edomites have clearly already done this. And one of my favorite comedians, who happens to be Jewish, is Andrea Martin. And you can see that this Afua looks very much like her. So you can see the transition, all right, from Black to white Jews, especially in the hair texture. This Afua also was helped out on this book called New Daughters of Africa. And again, she's pushing the narrative that Blacks are Egyptian. And she's denying the Black British Edomite aristocracy. So in this Harry and Meghan story, she could easily just wipe the whole debate clean about the validity of Meghan by saying, well, the whole Black aristocracy in Britain, both the Edomite one and the Israelite one, were all Negroes. And this aristocracy stole the identity. But she doesn't do that. Instead, what she does is she makes a big stink about the fact that Meghan Markle went to a particular event where she was mocked by a white woman wearing this aristocratic Arabian jewelry, and she calls it racist. Well, this is just the Edomites and the Black Ishmaelites hiding their identity in Britain, which is what they've been trying to do, is pull down all the statues and get rid of all the jewelry that confirms the Black aristocracy. So she's simply hiding it. So why is she doing this? She's trying to hide the fact that the Black aristocracy, the Negro Hebrew Israelites and Esau Edom were Black, and that Esau Edom was part of the transatlantic slave trade, the Black Edomites, as well as the white Jewish people. She's trying to hide that. So who else is playing these games? Well, Ngozi Fulani. We know the Fulanis are Edomites. And so Camilla, the queen consort, Lady Susan Hussey, gets accused of being racist by Ngozi the Fulani because she keeps asking her where she's really from at a special event specifically for African women and girls of Caribbean and African ancestry. And so she gets accused of racism for asking this woman, where are you from? Now, the Fulani were the enslavers of the diaspora. Aristocracy. We know all the things that they've done. You can go on my channel and see all the stuff I've exposed about them. But nonetheless, this is the Edomites playing the race card, the Edomites playing the race card. And of course, the Edomites are the original Arabs along with the Ishmaelites. Okay, and usually the Edomites are also mixed with the Horites, the Canaanites, etc. Mount Seir, the people of Mount Seir. The slave trade in the past, as it is presently brought to you by Black Jews and Black Arabs and white Jews and white Arabs. And we can't forget America is Egypt. What's the agenda? So no white Jews, it's not all on you. Black Edom is so easily recognizable, the Black Arab Moors. The only people denying Black Edom or remaining silent on the subject or saying Edom is only white is Black Edom themselves and those cliquing with them. So once again, the slave trade today and in the past is brought to you by Black Jews and Black Arabs and white Jews and white Arabs. The truth is that all of the nations have taken a counsel against Israel, all of them. And what everybody needs to do is leave their father's house. As for those of you who are Edomites or Ishmaelites, Black Arabs, Black aristocracy descendants, and you have chosen Israel, now is the time. Just tell the truth. Tell the truth, everyone, about the wicked things your nation has done to Israel.